The NFL played hardball with the Chiefs before a critical stretch of games coming up. We're going to talk about that. Chiefs Kingdom ACU crew, how's everybody doing tonight? Welcome in, welcome in. Appreciate you guys waiting on us. Had a bit of a camera issue, got it taken care of. We're good to go now. Do us a favor, hit that like button, get some more people in here. Let's have a good time talking Chiefs tonight. Mike, we found out some stuff over the weekend here that Brett Veach was actually trying to get some players. It's just that no one in the NFL really wanted to play ball with the Chiefs. Imagine that.
Well, they would have played ball. They wanted
they wanted to rip us off, right?
Yeah, they wanted an underhanded down the middle home run there, and they just couldn't do it. We had all known about the Brees Hall. They wanted the third. We were offering a fourth kind of thing. But one come out, and I'll just read it here. Adam Schefter reports Tuesday's NFL deadline. The Chiefs made a late, strong push to acquire Seattle linebacker Boye Mafe. Per sources, some thought the deal would get done. One source even thought it was completed, but right before the deadline, Seattle opted to hold on to Mafe. Listen to this,
Mike. There's one name that has not been mentioned as far as I know, and this was a guy that all of Chiefs Kingdom was on Horn Meter 11 for when he was coming out in the draft, and I think he could be a potential trade target for the Chiefs. And I'm talking about Boye Mafe. Okay. So this guy could bring what we need to the table. This is also somebody that everyone loved coming out of the draft. They thought he was a good fit with KC. This guy could probably come over to KC for something around a 4th round pick, dude.
I'll believe it when I see it. I just don't understand why they would do that. They're not a bad team this year.
Oh, it's almost like we know what we're talking about sometimes, Mike. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I don't know how we had a take, and both of us eventually were right.
Hey.
You saying that the Chiefs would try to go get him, and me saying that when it's all said and done, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, man, sometimes you just kind of have an intuition about what the Chiefs might try to do. I don't know about you guys out there listening, but you can put it in the chat, let me know. But sometimes you just kind of feel like you know what Brett Veach is up to, and for some reason, I had this hunch about Boye Mafe. I just remember that being a name that they really liked. And Chiefs Kingdom was real horned up for. And he kind of didn't live up to expectations in Seattle. So I thought maybe that could be a Brett Veach grab. Get that guy that was drafted in the 1st round. Didn't quite pan out. We can get him and see what we can do with him. And it sounds like he tried to get him, man. But and it's crazy that someone actually thought the deal was done. That's how close it was.
Yeah.
And it getting that close, just like the Brees Hall
I wonder what the
thing.
holdup was.
I would imagine it was exactly what you said in that clip. Seattle was probably like, look, we're having a good season, better than expected. We could win our division. Yes, we could probably improve our team, and this is our best trade asset, but he's good and he's young. Maybe we'll just stand pat, be where we're at, I think that's exactly what happened.
Maybe tried to slide out a little bit of extra draft capital.
Because of that. And I think, like we mentioned earlier, I think teams really just wanted to get the best of the Chiefs. If the Chiefs are coming at you to get someone to try to make themselves better, this is a team that's been kind of dominating the league for a decade now. So I think you want to try to get more out of them than you would from anybody else. And I think they just ask for too much. And then, it just ran out of time. I think Brett Veach, I'm not saying that he waited to the last minute to get everything done, but I just think that the way things worked out, they were this close there with Brees Hall. They were this close with Boye Mafe. Mike, we also got reports that they might have been on Devon Achane.
Yeah,
right?
There was some talk of that. I don't remember who said it. I didn't get to clip it, but I'm pretty sure it was Ian Rappaport. He actually come out and said there was a few teams that had contacted the Dolphins about Devon Achane, which we thought was a good idea as well. Now, they didn't specifically come out and say which teams, Steve. But, I mean, if you use a little bit of logic, the Chiefs, if they were inquiring about Brees Hall, I think they were inquiring about him as well.
Absolutely.
There's only so many buyers for running backs at the deadline. I would say the Chiefs were probably in this mix. The Achane thing fell through, though, because it turned out that the Dolphins were asking for a 2nd-round pick plus extras. And nobody knows what the extras were. Was it an extra 4th? Was it an extra 5th or 6th? Was it pick swaps, future picks, take contract, whatever it was?
Yeah, they got a little rich there, didn't they?
They got really rich on that. And the thing is I think at the end of the day, It's weird. It is and it's not. It's weird that they would ask more for Achane than the Jets would ask for Breece Hall. I think Breece Hall is a better running back. I think Achane has less mileage because he don't have that major knee injury underneath him, and he's got a lot of speed. And I know Breece Hall does as well, but I think they both fit. I think Achane would have fit the offense a little better.
Yes.
I don't think a second round pick was worth it. I think Achane was maybe worth a third. And I think Breece Hall was probably worth the fourth. Considering that with Breece Hall, you did just have a rental. With Achane, you had one more year there. You had another year that he could have played. You could have tried to work something out. I just think at the end of the day, Brett couldn't get that done. And I think just across the board, he couldn't get anything done. I'm with you. I think everybody was just... It become this thing this year in the market where you just had 4 or 5 teams at the bottom, and the Jets were one of them, and really the Dolphins should have been, and they were to a certain degree. They were just the ones that were just all out. You know, they were sellers at the deadline. They're probably going to blow things up and move on. But a lot of the NFL is still in a playoff hunt at this point at week 9, week 10, and so I don't think a lot of teams wanted to budge there, and especially the Seahawks.
Correct. I agree. And here's another thing, man. Like you mentioned this after the Breece Hall thing, like literally the day that the draft deadline took place. You said, I highly doubt, I would be very, very surprised if the only move Brett Veach was trying to make was for a running back.
Absolutely.
Right. And now, in hindsight, we know he was looking at 2 running backs and at least 1 edge rusher. So I'm sitting there thinking the same thing you were, days ago. I'd be surprised if that was the only people that Brett was trying to go after. Like, I'm pretty sure he probably had a handful of guys in mind. And I just think that he couldn't get anything to work. Now, that's the thing. The Chiefs are not they're not a desperate team. They don't have to have anything. It would have been nice to add to the pass rush because that's our weakness. It would have been nice to add a game-breaking running back like an Achane or a Hall, but we don't have to have it. So Brett Veach is smart enough to go out there and kick the tires on things, but he's not going to get his ass handed to him in a trade. He's just not going to do that.
No, not at all. I think at the end of the day, I don't think either one of them were worth it. We don't know what they were going to give us for Boye Mafe. We have no idea what that would have been.
I'm thinking around the 4th. It's probably about a 4th round, 3rd round, maybe. Maybe they wanted a 3rd round. Maybe same kind of deal that the Jets were doing.
He's underperformed. But you got to also look at this. This is the Chiefs draft capital we got coming up in 2026. There's not a lot. We've got the 1st round pick, 2nd, a 3rd, a 4th, and 2 5ths. But we don't have a 6th or a 7th this year. Usually those 6th and 7th are the ones that you start... you'll start packaging those, and Brett likes to move up and down. Right now, the only thing he has to work with is that extra 5th round pick.
Right.
And he may get one potential move with that. And we've seen Brett in the past few years, he's moving 2 or 3 times in each draft. He'll find a guy, he'll go get him.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Brett postseason trade some guys off for draft capital so he has more to play with.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been surprised. And that's another reason. I kind of thought maybe somebody was going to come after one of these corners. The Josh Williams. But I think what's happened is the Chiefs have kind of mistreated that whole Williams situation to the point to where the league don't know what to think about him. I think if they would have let him play and just, why would you want to go trade draft capital for a guy that on the outside, everybody's thinking, why in the hell aren't the Chiefs playing this kid? We've heard this time and time again from so many different creators, so many different teams. They don't understand why we're not playing them. A lot of people on our end and our fans don't even understand why they're not playing Josh Williams. Right. And then it kills his own draft capital. I mean, if I were the Chiefs, he would have been on the block. Okay. Christian Fulton would have been on the block. I would have had Felix Anudike-Uzomah on the block. Why not put him on the block too? Maybe somebody gives up a pass rusher or maybe somebody gives up a draft pick for a potential pass rusher. Who knows? I think at this point, I'd have took a 6th round pick for that kid.
Like I would have took a bag of flaming hot nacho cheese Doritos for Felix Anudike-Uzomah.
I mean, look, I like Felix, and I think he could have potential, but he's never going to have pass rush 1 potential in this league. Right. I'm tired of drafting guys that are just nothing more than rotational pieces. Mm-hmm. Like we've got to start hitting some of these guys, and even George Karlaftis at the end of his career, he's not really going to go down in history as a number 1. He's not going to be the Neil Smith or back in the 90s, or the pass rush specialist that we've had.
It's funny too because he's actually pretty badass, right? He's looking at almost a 19% pass rush win rate this year, which is crazy. But he's just he's like low key good. And the thing about it is, we've said this time and time again, he's like a half step too slow. If George was this much faster, he would be a game wrecker. But we'll take it. I'll take what he's doing. I think George is fantastic, but you're right. He's not like top tier, crazy kind of edge rusher. Something else, Mike, I want to talk about real quick, and we'll get to the chat. If you guys have any questions or anything, make sure to get them in the chat. We're going to get to you in just a second. But I actually saw a top free agents after this season list, like for next season. And there were 2 Chiefs in the top 8, or it might have been 9. Might have been 8, 9, or they were 7 and 8.
Okay.
And it really kind of surprised me that the people that they were above. And it was number 7, I believe, was Jalen Watson.
Jalen Watson had a good season this year, and he's paired that with a pretty good season last year.
Well, they were talking about last year before he got hurt, how good he was, and they said there were teams like the Ravens and some teams that would really like to get their hands on this.
Somebody will pay to have Jalen Watson. He will not be with the Chiefs next year.
And then following him up, still in the top 10, was Leo. So, I mean, that's crazy too, because this was from, I want to say it was ESPN. It could have been Sports Illustrated. I can't remember. I really got to start clipping this stuff for you. But it blew my mind when you saw the people. I think I might have sent it to you actually, but when you saw those 2 above some of the names that are going to be free agents next year, it kind of just made you realize we got some young guys that are valuable. So, I mean, the fact that he didn't move them, that's not like super telling or anything. Obviously, it doesn't mean he's necessarily going to extend them, but maybe we needed them for the rest of this season. Maybe they talked about it, couldn't get what they wanted for them. You never really know. So I just think it's interesting. A lot of people left the trade deadline day thinking that Brett Veach just really dropped the ball, didn't do anything. And I think it's nice, even though we haven't heard from the man himself, as far as I know, but it's nice to hear from sources that, yes, he was active. He was trying to get stuff done. And it looks like he just got the door slammed in his face, is all there is to it.
Again, people just... I think a lot of teams value their assets a little too high. It's odd to me that it seems like, Howie Roseman can go out here and get anything for a freaking gallon of milk, but everybody else just has to play with these different rules, so it seems. It's just wild that people will deal with the Eagles and they don't seem to want to deal with the Chiefs. But some of that might be the willingness of Roseman to not be so stingy with his draft capital. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's out there getting players that have these big contracts, and the teams are more willing to get rid of these big contracts because he'll just push all those void years. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it feels like the Chiefs always have trouble getting deals done when it counts, especially on players that you really want.
Right.
When you get a guy out of nowhere like Uche last year, that just kind of came out of nowhere. It didn't surprise nobody we made the trade. I think it surprised people that he wasn't a fit. And a lot of people were like, here we go. And then sure enough, I remember where I was sitting when the guy wasn't getting playing time. I was sitting in a little cafe in the middle of Evansville, Indiana, enjoying a little strawberry butter for the first time, okay? About to eat a filet mignon over here.
Who eats strawberry butter?
They had homemade strawberry butter, and it was excellent. And that's why I remembered it, because I was literally reading my phone, and it's like, Josh Uche gets traded to the Chiefs. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure this is going to be a nice, end result.
I mean, people were excited about it, but I mean, you kind of knew in the back of your mind, like, this guy don't fit our scheme.
He wasn't Spags' guy because he's got a little bit of juice to him.
Right. David Baker, you actually can trade someone on IR. There was a rule change back in 2019, 2018, somewhere in that range. There was a rule change where you can trade people that are on the IR. So he absolutely could have been traded. Let's see. Let's get to the chat real quick. Hope you guys are doing good tonight, by the way. We got Michael Flores, been a member for 17 months now. Says, Andy saw the Dolphins game and hopefully understands you have to run, have to have a run game to beat the brakes off a team.
Let's not talk about that.
Brother, I mean, what's wild is we've talked about this time and time again. Anyone with 2 eyes and a brain knew that if you run the football against the Bills the other day, you beat the Bills. And then you made a video explaining, like, hey, look, the Chiefs have lost this many games. 2/3 of those, if they could just rush for over 20 carries, they're probably winning those games. And there's still people arguing in the comments. So if there's people in the comments that are literally like, oh, we can't run the ball, that's why we don't do it, or we don't have a good running back. Maybe they're just like Andy. Maybe they get a little slap nutty sometimes. I don't know. Maybe that's where his brain is. I don't get it, dude. It blows my mind.
Well,
and
the Bills are never meeting the accusations, though.
No,
after losing to the Dolphins today,
they're frauds.
It's not even about that. Their fans, everything about the Bills, they always come out and say, beating the Chiefs is just another game. You all try to make it out like it's our Super Bowl.
No, they had the hangover today.
You guys had the Super Bowl hangover today. You had our Week 1 versus San Diego, or the Chargers. I don't know why I still call them San Diego.
Los Angeles.
It means Wells Vagina, San Diego.
San Diego.
The thing about it is, though, is they're never beating those.
Mike, I wanted to add something to the context of the video that you put out, because I saw where at least one guy was like, hey, there's not enough information here. This is just half-assed journalism.
Well, I'm not a journalist, so
right.
Cool.
Mike, give your journalism degree up, buddy. Give me your credentials.
Wish you would hold an actual journalist to that standard.
Give me your credentials. Either way, to add some context to it, to make people like that happy, dude, I actually looked a little further into it. And did you know, in all of the wins that Andy Reid has had, he has rushed for almost 22 carries per game.
That's his average?
Yes. That's a big bottom end.
Right.
In all the losses, he's at 18. So it's a slim margin. But I think it's very apparent that there's something along those lines, because you have to consider those are averages. So there were games we lost where we rushed the ball 34 times. But it's very, very rare.
Well, I did look at some of those, and you know what I found? Because I knew there was going to be a slap nut or two like the one you're addressing right now, this guy.
Yeah.
You could never...
let's just name him. Let's just name him, Mike. Let's give him a name right now.
Mr. Nut.
Okay.
Look, Mr. Nut, if you watch football and you're a Chiefs fan and you couldn't tell that we lost that game because Andy Reid didn't run the ball, you need to watch lacrosse or something. Go find something else. Watch NASCAR. But don't watch football because you're an idiot. It was very apparent. It's very apparent that when the Chiefs struggle, they do not commit to a running game. I don't care if you've got Patrick Mahomes. I don't care if you made Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady have a love child and you had Patrick Brady over here. This guy's still going to need a run game at the end of the day. Because nobody respects anything. So they just come and get you, and they just put a lot of defenders back there and just make you dink and dunk all day long until you get frustrated. So the thing is you didn't need all that. But I already knew somebody was going to say it, and I did exactly what you did. And you want to know what I found out? In some of the games that we won or that we lost, but we ran over 30 sometimes, there was only 4 at the end of the day. Let me bring in this chart really quick. I want to bring the chart.
No, he's pulling the charts out.
I just want to bring the chart in again because I had the chart redone so that people can understand it a little better. And this is the chart redone. It's the same one from the video, but this is it. So look, we had 22 losses going back to 2020. And the 2 yellow are losses. But you've also got to think about this. The 2 yellow were games that we played in the final week of the season. We didn't play our starters.
Right.
So technically you could pull those out and say the Chiefs only lost 20 games. But technically those still go in the record book as a loss. So if I've got to say 22 games, then it's going to stay by the strict 20 carry thing. I have to.
And you know what's crazy? I'm surprised there wasn't more carries in those games, considering you had God knows who starting.
That just shows Andy doesn't want to run the ball.
Right.
That in a game that don't even count, he won't even do it just to run the clock and get the hell out. He can't do it. He wants to see Chad Henne throw the ball 400 times. Like, that was fun. Okay.
Carson Wentz out there last year.
Do you want to know why I did that? I said, look, you can't. The Chiefs have 22 losses on their record, not 20. I can't go in and be like, oh, well, the Chiefs didn't play their starters versus Denver. That loss don't count. It absolutely counts in the record book. And because I have journalistic integrity, I had to include it.
Whatever, Mike. Give me your credentials.
Mr. Nut.
Give me your laminate.
So here's what I wanted to say. Going back and looking at this versus the Eagles versus the Packers, we had 4 games that we lost. We were over 20 carries. Do you realize one of these 4 games? I'm going to give you one of these 4 games, and you're going to know exactly which one it is. That game should have been won. We actually had Patrick Mahomes throwing a touchdown at the very end of the game, and a DB ran right through MVS, and there was no flags on the play.
Yeah. Was that the Eagles or Green Bay?
That was the Packers.
Okay.
That was a loss. Guess what? If they would have made the right call and wouldn't have caved to the crying NFL fans, the Chiefs won that game all of a sudden. And guess who had ran over 20 times? The Chiefs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There were outlier games. If you look at every game under Andy Reid, there were
outliers.
outliers.
Bigger disparity.
Of course, but there are going to be outliers. But I think it's very apparent when 98% of the criteria goes by one trend. I don't care about the couple of outliers because
the outlier
they're definitely factors.
Favored our numbers,
right? But there are definitely factors into that stuff too. Like there were probably games where we went out and passed all over a team and didn't even have to run the football.
Absolutely,
until the end of the game. Like so. I mean, there's definitely factors there, but I think for the most part, we all know what's up. We all know what's up, Mike. That's all there is to it. Don't be a slapnut. Once again, guys, appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Let's get some more people in here. We only got like 50 likes. Let's get more of those. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so. Real quick, you're kind of seeing the effects of a YouTube attacks all chiefed up again for the 100 millionth time, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we're actively, I guarantee you a bunch of you in the chat did not get a notification for this. Actively back in the doghouse. Getting, completely shadow banned on everything. And let's explain to you why real quick, and we'll get back to the football. But as you all know, we got to deal with DraftKings. We already lost one deal because YouTube said, hey, everybody else can do this one, but y'all can't. So give me your money and get off my platform. So we went and we got DraftKings instead. So double the work.
Because why? Because DraftKings just partnered with freaking ESPN. They're the biggest company in the world.
Right, they have their own YouTube channel. They do everything, right? Everybody knows DraftKings. So according to YouTube guidelines, you cannot promote online gambling casinos, okay? So you cannot do that. But specifically excluded in that guideline is sports books and online sports gambling. You are allowed to do that. But however, AI triggers our videos every time it puts an age restriction on our video, takes it out of the algorithm, puts it in the doghouse. So a video that normally after a couple of hours we would have 3,000 views or 4,000 views, 250.
Which, by the way,
250.
Listen. By the way, that age restriction thing is a complete scam. This is why it's a scam. I'm going to guarantee you right now that if we release a normal video and it don't get any restrictions or nothing, it just goes out like normal and our people watch it, at the end of the week, let's just say it gets 10,000 views, just to keep it right down the middle, 10 grand. Out of those 10,000 views, how many of those views do you think come from somebody under 18 years old?
Probably like 200 of them.
Right.
I mean, not many.
So explain to me
how
an 18 plus restriction goes from 10,000 to 1,000.
I can explain that real quick.
Because they're not restricting it to just under 18. They're just restricting you.
Yeah, well, of course. And I'm going to tell you why, 100%.
Yeah.
When you have a restricted age limit on your video, there's people that will not pay ad revenue to those videos. So they can't make as much money off of you. So they just go ahead and throw it out the algorithm. It's 100% it.
Okay, but listen to this. If I watch our videos and I watch what ads YouTube puts on here, by the way, they'll put DraftKings ads on our videos.
Bet 365, Underdog. They don't
that
care.
We don't even do. They'll put that on there. That's cool. But how many stuff do we get that goes to kids anyway? They're not like out here sponsoring like a Disney World, or we don't have people over here selling like a Christmas cookies or something. Like it's always like an adult thing.
Yeah. Either way, just to get past this real quick, I just want to explain to you guys what's been going on with our videos the last couple of days, kind of give you an idea what's up. But just to put this into context, RGR, this is in our own niche, own Chiefs niche. These are all channels that you guys know. Okay. RGR does Profit X. They still do it to this day. That's what we almost got banned from YouTube for doing. Okay. Yeah. Make that make sense. Chief Concerns, FanDuel, Cole on how about those Chiefs, Underdog, who I contacted today, and he was very gracious to try to figure out what the hell was going on. No one knows.
Nobody knows.
And let's just say this: some of the people that he was talking to are massive, and they were just like, "This is crazy.
This has never happened to anyone else except for us."
Yeah. So when you hear us saying YouTube hates us, we're not complaining. It's the truth. I don't know what we did. Anyway, let's get back to football, Mike. I know the Chargers are playing right now,
Steve,
so of course
what you just talked about is going to get this video age restricted.
I don't give a shit. Age restricted.
Speaking of that, should we get to our DraftKings?
Age restricted. Now I want to talk about the game that's going on right now. So you saw the nasty, ugly ass game on Thursday night with the Broncos and the Raiders. Of course, the Raiders, shit the bed, and the Broncos ended up winning, so it didn't help us whatsoever. But obviously, Buffalo taking an L today does help us somewhat. And then the Chargers are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, and I know a lot of you are watching. I've seen y'all talking about it in the chat. So far, the Chargers are up 12-3. We could really use a Pittsburgh win tonight.
Is that a hockey game?
Dude, I'm telling you, every one of these. I'm going to put this out here right now. I understand that the Chiefs are behind in the division, and they haven't looked great this year. But I'm going to tell you right now, the Donkeys, the Bills, the Chargers, they're all ass. Like, the Chiefs should spank every one of those teams. They suck.
Dude, we've not seen anybody good.
No.
Like, honestly, the Colts might literally be the only team that just keeps winning and winning and winning. And they
And
just dropped to the Steelers last week.
That's going to come to an end. That's going to come to an end, brother. It's going to come to an end, I'm telling you.
I just don't understand how everybody plays like ass every game of the year, except for against the Chiefs. Everybody looks like a Pro Bowl team.
Right. Also, the Jaguars lost today, so that's good for the Chiefs. I'm just telling you, dude. I'm telling you right now, there is no doubt in my mind that even not acquiring anybody at the trade deadline, that this Chiefs team is the best team in the AFC. There is a reason why Vegas has them as the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl, and we're not even predicted to be in the playoffs at this point. Because Vegas, obviously, they know how to make money, right? They know what's up. They have the Chiefs the odds-on favorite to be Super Bowl champions. I'm telling you, this Chiefs team is so much better than everybody in the AFC right now. The Colts, they look good, but they also are nothing but ground and pound. They have a good offensive line. They have a good running back, right? They are one little injury away from just being done. Daniel Jones is not that guy. He just isn't. I'm just telling you, dude. I think the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC.
Let's talk about the Chiefs for 1 second.
Yeah.
So we're coming off the bye week. Andy Reid off of a bye, and you're going straight to play the Broncos. This is a must-win game. By all measures across the board,
right?
We have to win. I know that is like oversaid.
Can I add to that real quick?
Win.
Before you keep going, can I add to that? I actually saw a statistic. If the Chiefs beat the Broncos, they're 56% likely to win the AFC West. That's where their probability's at. If they lose to the Broncos are 82% probability to win the division.
Right.
So that's how much of a must-win it is.
So, again, it's a must-win. It can't be overstated enough. We got to win this game. If the Chiefs come out and shit the bed versus the Broncos, hang it up. We're probably not even getting to the playoffs unless you just run the table all the way out.
They still can't do it.
I don't think you can. And then they're going to turn around. They're going to play the Colts. They've got two must-win games against maybe
if you couldn't stop James Cook, what are you going to do with Jonathan Taylor?
It's those two and the Patriots at the top of the AFC, the entire conference standings, and you're playing 2 of the 3 out the bye week, and everybody told us, well, the second half of the season gets a little easier, don't it? Oh, does it?
Doesn't.
Does it?
Mike, I don't know if we got to Perry's two-bomb. He said I was surprised that they didn't acquire capital, talking about the Chiefs trade deadline. Looking at what we have in this draft coming up, I really believe Brett Veach is going to do something to try to acquire more draft capital. He doesn't like to go into drafts with limited. Like he'll take extra draft picks. We'll go crazy so we can move up and down the boards. Right now, there ain't a whole lot to play with other than, like Mike said, you got an extra 5th round pick, but you have no 6th or 7th. So, I mean, I would see something like that coming along. Appreciate the 2, Perry.
Yeah,
Matt,
you.
with the 5 bomb, says how many wins gets us in? Chargers are probably going to win tonight. Let's just say the Chargers win tonight. Okay, and that would put them at what? 7-3. The Broncos are at 7-2, I think. Dude, there's a world where there could be 3 AFC West teams in the playoffs. Okay, there's a world where that could happen. So I would say worst case scenario, Mike. What do you think the Chiefs? What do you think like the low amount of wins is for the Chiefs to maybe squeeze into the playoffs like wild card?
There could be a 12-5 team get left out this year.
You think so?
Why not? Look, I think by the end of the year, I really don't feel like Buffalo's not getting in the playoffs.
No, they'll win their division. Well, I don't. Well, I don't know
because the Patriots have got such a
yeah.
cupcake schedule.
That's true. Too.
How are you going to like if Denver? Even if we pass Denver, you don't think Denver's going to be fighting there for a wild card? I just don't see it. Like, what's going to happen is you're going to have a team like say, like even today, like the Jags lose, but the Jags hold a tiebreaker over us, and the Colts are going to win the division. So there's a definite team playing for a wild card, and we've lost the head-to-head to them.
Correct.
The Patriots are going to win that division, it looks like, because
and obviously Buffalo has a tiebreaker.
Buffalo has a tiebreaker. There's a wild card team.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs did themselves no favors with dropping that horrendous game to Buffalo. And for everybody that says they did it on purpose so they could beat them in the playoffs, that's the most ignorant shit I've ever heard. There's just no sugarcoating that. Quit saying it. You make us all sound stupid.
Yeah, stop doing that.
Just stop. Just take the loss. Just take the L.
Take the L. Man, no, seriously, here's where we're at, right? So the Patriots, Steelers, Colts, Broncos, if we were to stop today, that's the 4 division winners. Okay, and then you're looking at Buffalo, and you're looking at the Jaguars, Chargers. Those are probably going to be your team. How many? Let's see. What is it, 8 or 7? It's 7. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's who would be in. So in order for the Chiefs to, right this ship and get themselves a spot in the playoffs, not only do they need to win a lot, but they also need some of these other teams to lose. Like, we need a little bit of help on the back end.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. Wild. Well, I mean, you give yourself that by just taking care of your own division. Because when we win, we're winning a head-to-head matchup, and we're also giving them an L. So that's what we got to do. We've got 4 more divisional games. You got to win all of them, no doubt about it. And you can't drop the Colts game either, in my opinion. You got to beat the Colts.
I think that ideally they win out, right? But if you drop one game, say just one game out of the rest of the games, Mike, which one do you think is are there any games on the schedule that don't, like, I guess it's a lighter blow than any of the other ones?
Yeah, the Cowboys.
Is that it?
Because they're in a wholly different conference, and it don't hurt us in a head-to-head matchup. But I'll say this, you shouldn't lose to them.
Right.
Like, you just should. We're better than every team in here. I just think you can't lose to anybody in the AFC anymore, and you definitely can't lose to anybody in the AFC West.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, man. I think that we've seen the Chiefs kind of progress each week and get better and better and better. Now, last game against Buffalo, I saw a backtracking of the defense. I also saw bad play calling on the offense, right? So that's kind of discouraging. But knowing that you were in Orchard Park playing against a team that literally plays you like it's the end of the world every time we play them. Literally, it is like do or die for them every time they play. It could be preseason, and I think they'd go out all starters and try to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Like, that's how important it is to them. It was so important they had a Super Bowl hangover and lost to the Dolphins. But I think the Chiefs are in a good spot. The roster is good. Yes, I would love to have seen them add to the pass rush, but they didn't do it. We're just going to have some of our guys that are already here step up. And maybe that's the conversation they're having behind closed doors. Like, hey, we weren't able to acquire anybody, and we shouldn't have to. Okay, Charles O'Menahue, Mike Dana, we shouldn't have to acquire people to do your job for you. Let's get you to step it up a little bit and get this shit done. George Karlaftis is winning 19% of his pass rushes. That's literally 1 out of 5 he's winning. Chris Jones is over here. First of all, he's getting a little older, right? He's getting double teamed a lot. He's getting gassed faster. We all see it. I'm not saying Jones is not good, and I think Jones will play his best football in the back half of the season, 100%. No doubt about that in my mind. But we've got to get somebody to clean it up on the other side. So, I mean, I think that's the conversations they need to be having in-house during this bye week. Like, look, here's where we stand. Here's where our weaknesses are. You, and you, do your job. Like, let's get it. How can we help you? Like, what's going on? How can we make it better for you? What's the problem? Like that's the conversations that have to be had. That way the Chiefs can get better going forward and keep moving in the right direction because they have a little bit of work to do to get in the playoffs. But real quick, guys, just want to shout out DraftKings for being today's sponsor for our live stream. We were just talking about that, but just take a minute and check out this ad.
Football season is in full swing. We're proud to say that All Chiefed Up has teamed with DraftKings Sportsbook to bring you the best ways to get in on the action this NFL season. DraftKings Sportsbook has industry-leading live betting market availability, meaning their odds update dynamically as the game unfolds, keeping you right in the middle of the most relevant storylines in real time. It takes your fan experience to the next level. And when it comes to betting on touchdowns, DraftKings has you covered with all your favorite options, including first touchdown scorer. So make no mistake about it, DraftKings Sportsbook has all your favorite ways to bet touchdowns this NFL season. Get in on the action and sign up using our promo code ACU. With DraftKings Sportsbook, the crowd is yours.
Let's freaking go. Go get it.
Shout out DraftKings. Appreciate you guys.
Go get it. Use our promo code ACU and have some fun, guys. Always play responsibly. Mike, more restrictions incoming. If you get shut down and they ask you if you're 18 all of a sudden, just send a message to YouTube and tell them to suck it. All right? Let's do that.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know.
Yeah. Look, me and Steve are going to continue to fight this because why? We're in the right. Look, if we were wrong, we would say, look, we're wrong. But we're right. We're right. I'll start. Look, I think during the middle of the ad, we should bring up the YouTube restriction guideline that they say, Steve, that where they clearly say you're allowed to do it, and I'll start posting that.
They would still flag it, bro, because it's robots.
Yeah, it's robots that hate us, so they can push corporate channels.
Let's freaking go. All right, man. Yeah, we kind of know what's up. We know what we have in front of us in the back half of this season. Let's talk about, like, you know, here I am saying these are the conversations that we have to have or they should be having behind closed doors. So on that note, outside of pass rushers, okay, if you're the big guy, if you're Big Red, kind of looking at your team right now,
yeah,
and outside of Charles Omenihu and Mike Dana, who else needs to step up to the plate? Like, what else do you directly try to improve to help the team as a whole? Because I have one other one in mind, but I want to hear your opinion.
I mean, honestly, if I'm Big Red, I'm in the mind of Big Red, I put the cheeseburger down for a minute, and I pick up the phone, and I think I call Spags. I think this falls on Spags a little bit. Not a particular player, not a particular anything, but this is what I do with Spags, is I got to call Spags, and I got to say, look, a couple things, buddy. We have to be a little more prudent in how we're divvying up the defensive line snaps. I think it's time we see more Ashton Gelati snaps. I think it's time that we rotate a little bit more on that defensive inside with Mike Dana and Omenihu. We need to figure out something there. I do believe they're going to let Pennell and everybody come in and get more snaps as he gets, you know, more acclimated to the team or whatever. Then I say, look, you've got to figure out a way to get Christian Fulton acclimated to this team on the field and usable. That way we can start putting McDuffie back in the slot a little bit more. Let's start looking at getting McDuffie moving around. Let's get the guy that you love so much, Chamari Connor. Let's get him out of that role a little bit and back to just being a guy in the center field that comes up a little bit, plays a little bit more of a Justin Reed role. Get these linebackers to take care of business. Stop doing so much zone. I think that if you start with just Spags, getting the rotations proper, getting the game plans better, and to stop letting these stupid linebackers get caught in these bad situations and letting these safeties get caught in bad situations. Like, I feel like everything gets taken care of on that side of the ball. But again, you've got to have a little bit of pass rush to help them. And I don't know what you do there. Do you say, hey, you know, Chris Jones isn't going to just miraculously not be less doubled and tripled. Right?
Right. Well, that's the thing. Chris faces double teams enough to where even when he has the one-on-one matches, sometimes he's so gassed he's not even winning those. Against guys that he should be beating.
Like, honestly, look, I've got it right here in front of me. I could just show it to you. I mean, it's got a lot of other crap on here about this point, but I go through, and every one of those little X's and check marks, That's me mapping Chris Jones versus the Jaguars when we lost. In the first half, Chris Jones played 27 snaps, okay? He played 27 snaps, and he had double teams only on 8 of those. 8 double teams, 18 regulars. He only had 3 wins.
Right.
He had like a 10% win rate in the entire game. I don't even think it was 10%. I don't even know what that is. What is 3 wins out of 26 snaps? Like 2%?
Not good.
Good night.
Not good. Matt with another 5 bomb says, has a team ever missed going 12-5? That's insane to think. But dude, everybody keeps winning. Well, so that's kind of where my brain's at now.
I don't know if I can.
I mean, you start looking at this stuff, and in my head, I feel like logically, it's like the Colts are going to drop some games. The Broncos are going to drop some games. They're just not that good. Like, someone's going to be... The Broncos have barely been scraping
A 12-win team has never missed the playoffs.
Okay.
But an 11 team has twice. 11-5, 2008 Patriots were knocked out because they had tiebreakers going against them for the Chargers, Ravens, and Dolphins, and the 85 Broncos missed it because they lost to a tiebreaker.
Right. And I also think that the Chargers are going to drop some games. I'm thinking that this game that's on right now, guys, the Chargers and the Steelers is kind of telling the tale for me. Like, this is what I'm thinking, dude. The Steelers literally just beat the Colts, right? And now you have the Chargers, who's missing their entire offensive line, beating the Steelers at the moment. I'm telling you right now, none of these teams are as good as their records show. None of them. The Chiefs are better than every damn one of those teams, I'm telling you. Appreciate the 5, Matt. Our boy KT, been a member for 24 months now, says if that's the case, then shouldn't we trade Chris and possibly McDuffie to get better as a team? That's rough, bro. That's a tough call. I think in hindsight, do you give Chris Jones the big fat contract? Like, I think you still do. I think that was the right decision at the time. And I think what sucks though is you kind of didn't do anything to help him. It's kind of like that Patrick Mahomes situation where you got a guy that's really good and dominant, but you didn't do anything besides be like, hey, you make this happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not been exactly easy. Now, we could say that, but they went and got George Karlaftis, obviously. They drafted Felix, who was a bust, but they didn't know that when they drafted him the first round. They went and got Omar Norman Lott, who they didn't know was going to get hurt for the season. They got Ashton Gelati. So, I mean, I can't say they haven't tried. Just nothing stuck, right? So...
Everything. Look, I'm going to tell you something right now. And no, everybody might disagree with me. I don't care. That's your own prerogative. Everybody can have their own opinion. If it's wrong, if it's right, I don't care. And I may be wrong for saying this, but the Chiefs are getting everything that they signed up for with Chris Jones. And by saying that is, yes, they should have given him the extension. He deserved it. No, they haven't helped him at all. Since getting that extension, he's not gotten anything. They've not hit on their draft picks like they could have. And look, you can't go out and you couldn't spend more money. You couldn't do that because he was the big guy that you built around. And he should have been. He was an Aaron Donald type of guy. He was a one of one. He was a top 5 player in the NFL for 3 or 4 years straight. He deserved to get in that contract, and Chris Jones deserves to be able to finish his career in Kansas City if he wants. The Chiefs are the ones that's causing this problems. The Chiefs have let him down. They've not given him a sufficient pass rush. They've not given him help. They've not been able to draft at it. Okay? So they've missed every bit of this. They have dug their own hole. And then a lot of people are going to say, well, it's because of the contract. Okay, that's catch-22. That's NFL in general. The Bengals can't pay for a defense because they signed their wide receivers. We can't do this because of this. That's the way the NFL works. It's not the Dodgers. We're not baseball. You've got to pick and choose.
Philly's kind of like the Dodgers.
The Chiefs did the right thing with Chris Jones, and I think everybody's saying we need to get rid of Chris Jones because he's not doing this and this and this is missing the point. He's not doing this and this and this and this because he was never given the chance to do it. Like, the fact that he was doing it shows how great he was because he never had help doing it. And now that he's catching up a little bit because he don't have help, people just want to kick him to the curb.
Can you believe like the most help he's had was Frank Clark? That's
right.
wild.
And this is the same. This is the same team that did the same shit to Justin Houston. Every time somebody gets bad, we just want to kick them out. Like, let's have a little bit of loyalty to the people that's done this to us. Chris Jones is not the problem. Chris Jones not having help is the problem. And the Chiefs have currently put him in this situation.
So that being said, Mike, let's look at the other half of this from KT. He said possibly trading McDuffie. So this could happen.
This I'm open to talking about.
This could happen. And here, let me tell you why. So McDuffie obviously on that 5th year option right now. Like, they've got to extend him after the season or let him walk. Like, what do you do here? So a lot of, you know, history tells you they're not going to do anything with him. They're just going to let him go or something, you know, whatever. But he is the only corner that we've really put a lot of draft capital into.
Look, you're wrong about this. The Chiefs still have one more year with him. This is only his 4th season. You still got a 5th-year option coming.
That's what I don't know what I said, but that's what I meant. You got a whole nother year.
Okay, you said that he had to be something this year. This was his 5th year, but it's not. He's
no. If you want to trade him, I think you got to do it this offseason. Is what I'm getting at.
I mean, you can trade him into his 5th year,
right? But I think if you could they use him for some draft capital? Absolutely, that could definitely be something they look at. Like I said, they're not afraid to get rid of corners. They've done it time and time again. They don't pay corners. Now, I thought McDuffie was a bit of an outlier. They traded up in the 1st round to get him, and I think that McDuffie, all around, is the best corner that the Chiefs have had, like just 100%. So it could be different. I don't know. That's a good question though, KT. I guess we'll have to see how that goes. But you also have other guys that they have to look at, this offseason too, with Leo and a couple other guys. Man, there's a lot they got to get tied up.
Brian Cook, Leo is coming up this offseason.
Right. Yeah.
You know what's going to happen. They may get Leo back. They'll probably re-sign back Cook, and everybody's going to lose their minds.
Well, I mean, Cook is not going to garner a big contract from a lot of people. So,
which is why I could see him maybe coming back, right? Yeah. And I feel like we're going to end up losing a couple people. Like Brett Veach is in that position this offseason where he's going to have to start making some critical choices here in the next few years. And this year I thought he dropped the ball a little bit. Mm-hmm. Look, I'm just going to say it. I think that he took the prerogative to go out and get Trey Smith back on a contract that I don't think Trey Smith should have had.
Correct.
Like, honestly, I don't give a rat's ass.
I agree. I'm fine with having Trey Smith here, but that was a lot of money.
But that contract was too much for what he does.
Yeah.
And number 2, I think they overpaid Nick Bolton too.
Yep.
So he chose to keep them both. And then he chose to go give George Karlaftis a big-ass deal. And George is good, but again, George ain't elite. He's not like top 3, 4, 5 guys up here. He's not like freaking Micah Parsons over here. Now, look, his contract actually plays pretty well. I'll give Brett Veach that. It plays pretty well. But the point is this year he made some really weird decisions and kept some guys that I thought one of those 2 were going to probably walk, and he managed to keep them both. But you're not going to be able to do this every single year. It's going to catch up to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on the flip side of that, I don't think you let Nick Bolton leave Kansas City. He runs the defense too well. Like,
he does, but I'm
dude, if you don't have Nick Bolton in there, can you imagine how bad our run defense could be?
Maybe. Could is a nice possible word, but another thing I'm going to say is a middle linebacker and a guard are very easily replaced.
I agree.
Compared to lots of other things.
I do think that the one that is the most head scratching is Trey Smith, and that's not. And here's the thing: when you look at it that way, it's like also Mahomes they've had trouble with that offensive line, dude. They've had a lot of trouble. So when you have a guy that you know is good, maybe that's why they wanted to stick with that comfort thing there, and that's why they overpaid Trey Smith. I mean, there's a lot of things that factor into that.
I don't care why they reached the decision, and I trust the decision. I'm just saying I didn't agree with the decision.
Yeah.
So I may not agree with them trading Trent McDuffie. I may want to keep McDuffie, but if they trade him, well, who am I? I can't call up Brett Veach and be like, "Don't do it, buddy. I'll take you to dinner tomorrow."
We need
don't
that.
trade
We need
him.
that phone. We need that phone right here on the desk. Like, hey, bro.
Right. No matter what he says.
Hey, look. Brett,
we've got to come on here and pitch it as it's the greatest thing ever.
Brett, you need to draft Nick Bonito, sir. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Brett, you need to get Puka Nacua, please. Like, hey, Brett, you should probably look at Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like we need that. We need that phone directly to Brett. I don't know why we don't have it. Flapjack with the 5 says Miami beat Buffalo. How ass were we that game? This year's team is making me lose sleep. Dude, it's frustrating. And the thing about it is the only thing you can do is be optimistic about it. The roster itself, I think it's good. Now it's lacking a little bit on defense. I think we have a young, inexperienced defense with some holes in it. But as far as the offense goes, I mean, the one complaint people have is running back. We don't have a game-breaking running back. Okay, we're talking about a guy that won't run the football. What does it even freaking matter? We're also talking about Kareem Hunt, who had 7 yards per carry against Buffalo there for a while, and they wouldn't even hand him the ball. So what does it matter who we have in the backfield, right? So, I mean, offensively, this team's probably more complete than just about any team that Patrick Mahomes has had. If you start looking at the receiving weapons, it's insane. So I'm pretty optimistic about where they can go from here. Now, they do have to start executing, and they have to play with some intensity. Your back's against the wall a little bit right now, so you cannot drop games at this point. So, I mean, we're really going to see what the team's made of mentally as soon as this bye week's over.
Right.
Right here in this first game against Denver. So that's all there is to it, man.
You know
Flapjack.
what this team...
Appreciate the five, brother.
You know what this team reminds me of? Like when I was going back and I was doing all the research for these wins and losses for the 20 carries, this team in so many ways reminds me a slight bit of our team back in 2021. And that was Andy Reid, that was Bieniemy, obviously. Bieniemy was here. But here was the thing, and this is why it reminds me so much, is because this year, the Chiefs are scoring points at one of the highest rates in the NFL. In 2021, we were 4th out of 32. So somewhere similar. Points against, we allowed 364, 8th of 32. The Chiefs are pretty much in that same boat right now. Like, we're right in that wheelhouse, okay? Our strength of schedule was a 5 out of 32. It's one of the highest there is this year as well. We have one of the higher strength of schedules. If you look at what this team did, this was a really good football team. But look how they opened their season. Win, loss, loss, win, loss, win, loss. And everybody's saying, what in the hell is going on with this team? It's supposed to be good. This team was 3-4 at one point. It was 3-4 going into week 8. Okay? And this is exactly what we're kind of looking at now. And then we overcome the 3-4. And guess what? Win. And they ended up going and they ended up finishing 12-5, which is exactly what we said we could do. And do you want to know what some of their losses were? They lost to Buffalo again in the regular season, but this team lost 38-20. They got completely mowed down. This game versus Buffalo this past week reminded me of this game versus Cincinnati in week 17. 34-31 loss because the Chiefs come out and half-assed it and let the Bengals talk trash to them. Do you remember that? And we didn't show up. And then what did we do? Well, we'll beat them again in the regular season. It's okay. When we beat the Bills in the postseason, it'll be fine. And then we'll beat Cincinnati in the postseason and we'll go to the Super Bowl. We'll get our last laugh. Yeah, we did beat the Bills in the postseason, but we lost to the Bengals because we had an epic blow-up of proportions at halftime. And that's the year the Bengals went and lost to the Rams in the Super Bowl. But the point is, this is what this team reminds me of. That was a team that was very, very good, had all the potential to win it all, and should have probably won that entire Super Bowl. But they kept letting dumb mistakes get in their way. And the same thing we just saw versus the Bengals, or the Bengals in 2021 is what we saw this time. We're everybody's Super Bowl, and this team hasn't figured it out like that team was not figuring it out. You know what I'm trying to say?
I agree.
These teams come out and play so well against us until the Chiefs can figure this out and stop stepping on their own toes. They're going to struggle.
Agreed. I mean, everyone knows they're shooting themselves in the foot, right?
Right.
It's pretty obvious.
It's not a bad team, but it's not a bad team.
No, we got Hannah with the 5, says McDuffie is getting a deal. Makes no sense to get rid of a top 3 cornerback in league to strengthen D-line just to weaken the secondary. So yeah, maybe. I'm right there with you, Hannah. I feel like Trent McDuffie probably should get a deal, considering he was somebody we invested a first-round draft pick in. We traded up for him in the first round of the draft. He's been a top 3 cornerback in the league. I still think he's ascending. I think he's getting better. And I don't think he's going to slow down anytime soon. So If we extend a corner, if we ever extend a corner, it's McDuffie. But I just don't know how feasible it is. Is it going to be possible? And I guess that's just what we'll see. But yeah, man, they I think it kind of goes both ways, Hannah. They still need to strengthen the defensive line regardless. But yeah, you don't want to see them like. You're never just going to get. You're not going to get everything.
Steve, you get two kinds of people in this world. And people fall into both sides. And neither side's wrong, but I think that the side I fall in is right. You build a defensive line to go get a quarterback, and it helps a subpar defensive backfield, or you have a great defensive backfield and a subpar defensive line. Guess one of those are going to fall apart quicker. When the quarterback gets all day long, your good corners in a pass-happy league is going to get picked on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
When you got subpar corners back there, but you've got a defensive line that don't give the quarterback 2 seconds to breathe.
They can cover that up pretty good.
They're going to cover that up very quickly.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, you need to spend more money on the defensive line than the cornerback room.
Well, I mean, this kind of will sum it up, right? If you only have 2 seconds to get rid of the ball, I think that even mediocre corners in the NFL can cover for 2 seconds. I really do.
Chiefs,
you have to think, like, even the corners that would be considered the worst in the league can cover for a short amount of time.
At the end of the day, if you could get, okay, let me just ask you this question. Steve, I'm asking you. People in the chat can answer too, I guess. If you get, for example, you've got a chance to sign back Jalen Watson for, let's say, 3 years, $40 million. Okay. You get him in the offseason, 3 years, $40 million. You're going to have Christian Fulton next year. You're going to have, you just drafted our boy out of Cal. You just drafted him, who's played very well. Noah Williams.
Noah Williams, yeah.
You've got all these guys back there that can play, but you have to let McDuffie walk. Or would you rather have McDuffie maybe signing a $150 million deal, like you just seen Sauce Gardner get? And look at this guy; he just got traded for 2 first-round picks, and he's getting cooked.
Yeah. Sauce Gardner, I don't think any corner is worth that much money.
Jalen Ramsey was passed around like a hoe on, I don't even know. And this guy sucks everywhere he goes. He doesn't make a huge difference. The teams he goes on don't go to the Super Bowl and win. I mean, yeah, I think he won one with the Rams, but they bought a freaking super team. It wasn't just him.
Right. Yeah. Well, Sam says, would you trade McDuffie for a first and a second?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think you could do that. Yeah.
I would trade McDuffie for just a straight first at this point. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you can take a first-round corner again, and you'll get him for 5 more years off a cheap contract. I love McDuffie, but McDuffie has his limitations at corner. And one of them is he gets a little picked on.
Size.
Look, we're getting ready to watch him go against one of the guys he cannot defend.
Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton eats his lunch every time.
McDuffie actually said that he was a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL because he can't defend him.
Exactly. So Cortland Sutton better not do nothing this week that's very great. He better figure it out.
Well, I think that requires a quarterback to throw it in somewhat of a vicinity of where he's supposed to be.
I'm not arguing against or for keeping Trent McDuffie. I'm just saying at the end of the day, I would rather put my money on the trenches than in the backfield.
I would agree. I would tend to agree with you, and I absolutely love McDuffie. Mike, I think we love McDuffie more than just about anybody. I called McDuffie
and said he was the only corner I'd taken that whole draft.
Yeah, love him. I don't want to see him go anywhere. I'd love to see them figure that out. Hannah with another 5 bomb says the Eagles have a roster of superstars, and no one thinks that they'll get rid of talent to build a roster. Veach needs to take risk using dead years in the back end of contracts. So that's literally nothing more than a way of just kicking the can down the road and kicking the can down the road and kicking the can down the road. That's literally what they're doing. Like, eventually that will catch up to you. However, if you continue to do it year in and year out, how long can you keep that going? And I think that's kind of what Roseman is going with here. Like,
what's his plan?
I don't know, but I feel like, you know how like Dorsey used to come in? John Dorsey would come in and build a team, and they would be badass. Yeah. And he would flip them from being a 2, 3, 4 win team to being in the playoffs and being competitive. And he would do it like that. But then the minute that he left, they were in hell.
Yeah.
It's like that, but he's extending it. Like, he's probably, Howie's looking at it, he's probably like, look, man, how old's Howie? How old is Howie?
I don't know, 70.
He is 50. He's only 50.
Oh, he'll be here for 30 more years.
So he's looking. He's like, look, I could retire easily at 60 years old. If I keep kicking this can down the road for 10 years, it's not my problem. But I'm going to look like a genius. Like, I don't know if that's exactly how it works, but I feel like he's just kicking the can down the road. There's no way that that's going to pay off for him in the long run. It just can't.
If I'm not mistaken, there's only a few players that's got dead years for the Chiefs. And I think Chris Jones has some, Mahomes has some, and Jawan Taylor actually restructured. They give him some.
Right. They did restructure Taylor last year.
I'm pretty sure they added a dead year on for that. Now, a lot of people said, Mike, you're stupid. I've never seen that before. But I'm pretty sure you could go right on Spot Rack, I believe, and it just says it.
Probably. Perry with the 2 bomb says the Eagles get lucky. They got a 5th for Pickett. Yeah, true. I do feel like the Eagles are so active in trades and things like that. It's like they're always in the middle of everything. Like, I don't know if that is
Did they
could be
draft
part of the
Kenny
advantage.
Pickett?
Yeah. No? Where did Pickett get drafted to?
I don't remember. I thought the Steelers drafted Kenny Pickett.
It was the Steelers, right?
And the Eagles traded for him. But then I know they did trade him back.
Yeah, the
but I'm just
Steelers
saying.
did. The Steelers did.
Drafted.
He was traded to the Eagles in 2024, and then they traded him to the Browns and got a 5th rounder out of him this last year.
It sounds like to me that they just know how to pick on bad teams and bad management.
Howie's a bully.
Yeah, Howie's a bully.
Who do you think's older, Brett Veach or Howie?
Howie. Brett Beach ain't 50, is he?
He's 47.
Yeah.
He's getting ready to be
older than I am.
48. Isn't that wild?
Well, he needs to call me up and see if we can get in here together and see what's happening.
I mean,
I can fix some of his stuff.
we could make it. We could make it good. We could make it real good.
I can't find Jawan Taylor's dead year, but I know it exists.
It might not. Hannah with another 5 says, I work in finance. Don't catch up to them because cap increases each year. There is that. It's financial engineering. Trent isn't just a cornerback. Spags uses him to blitz too. Well, I think a lot of guys blitz, right? A lot of corners blitz. I mean, you've seen Jalen Watson blitz. You see Josh Williams blitz when he's in the game. You're right about the cap increase. That is something that you have to factor in. And that's another thing. Like these GMs, they're way advanced in how this thing works as opposed to like a couple of slapnuts talking about it, right? So, you know, I'm sure there's ways around everything. But appreciate the 5, Hannah. And then Matt with a 5 says, do you think that's why they haven't extended Trent yet? I think we load up our offense and just have an insane front 4. I don't know what the plan is, like big picture for Veach. I feel like he never really has like a big plan. He just kind of, to me, Veach kind of addresses a situation 1 year too late, but somehow it works out for him. Like it took him too long to address the offensive line. It took him too long to address the wide receivers. It's taken him too long to address the defensive line, but he's still winning. You know what I'm saying? Like we won a Super Bowl with MVS, Juju, Sky Moore, and God knows who out there at wide receiver. You know, we thought that season that at that trade deadline, like, what are you doing, dude? That was the most obvious thing ever, and you didn't do anything. So, I mean, it's kind of the same concept. Veach is a tough one to read, but obviously what he does works so far, so it's hard to argue.
I agree. He did.
Are you still looking for dead money?
I'm making sure. It says the Chiefs restructured Jawan Taylor's contract in October 2024 and added 2 void years to the end of his deal by creating cap space.
Yeah.
How surprised
would you be to see them restructure him after this season and keep him?
Dude, I've said this might be a thing that
we've been saying it, but everybody yells about it, bro. But I think it's a possibility.
I said, look, if he cleans up his holding penalties and his penalties in general, the Chiefs possibly like this guy. And he's not very old. He's only like 27 or 28.
Let's get this straight.
For him.
He had a bad game against Buffalo. He also had a penalty problem. But outside of that, Jawan Taylor has been a badass right tackle.
Well, here's the thing. Like, if the Chiefs think that they don't have to get out of that year this year, but you know what they could do? They don't have to use their out year, but they could absolutely restructure somehow, or they could add more years and mess with cap space and keep that right tackle. I mean, I don't know. You do have your boy Jalen Moore, but again, he's only on for one more year as well. So I don't know. Veach has he's got some problems coming, don't he?
Maybe. I mean, I'm sure him and his team have a handle on things.
Well, they've got a plan in place. There's no doubt.
They definitely see this stuff. They probably see more coming than we do, right?
Well, yeah.
I mean, absolutely. So, I mean, they're going to have a plan in place. Matt with a 10 bomb says just because Pat can cover up every hole on our team doesn't mean he should have to. Agreed. That's how you get him killed. Take care of him, and he'll play well into his 40s. Yeah, you don't want to Aaron Rodgers him. That's kind of the conversation that we had back when we had so much trouble with the receivers. It was like, dude, you can't just continue to make him, elevate bad receivers play and like cover up all this. And I think they did a good job going out and making sure he has weapons now. I mean, they hit on the draft with Rashee Rice. They hit in the draft with Xavier Worthy. We were able to get Juju back on the team, who I think is a very good veteran because he's still young, but he's a vet, a lot of experience, does the dirty work. Him and Pat have good chemistry. He's kind of a security blanket for Pat. He'll move the chains. And then you lucked out with Tyquan Thornton, honestly. Getting him, stashing him on the practice squad, that's another deep threat. And him and Pat, they kind of got some chemistry there. I know Kelsey's getting a little older. Everybody knows that. But, I mean, he's still got Kels for now. So I think Pat is in a very good place at this moment. He's got the best receivers he's had ever.
Look, exactly what you just did is I think this is a good question. And I agree with you, Matt. I do think, like Steve said, I do think Pat's in a place right now where I think Pat's not have to do it all himself.
You also have to protect him, and that was the thing that they had been lacking.
But they got that for him this year to a certain degree.
Right.
Now, look, we couldn't determine that Josh Simmons was going to have to leave the team for X amount of games. Nobody's seen that coming. That wasn't in the cards. But the Jalen Moore signing kind of helped a little bit.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Nobody thought that Trey Smith was going to be injured for a game and Kingsley would be injured for a little bit. But you kept Caliendo for that reason. Caliendo's a good backup to have. You don't want him starting every game, but in a pinch, he's fine.
Right.
So I think the Chiefs have actually done everything they could for him. Now, look, going forward, Steve, and I'll use Matt's question to do this. I appreciate the 10 bomb, Matt. If today the season was done, let's just say they ended the football season today. Something happens. Goodell gets caught tomorrow that he's been helping the Eagles make illegal money off tush push, and the FBI comes in and they end the season today. They say, look, the season's canceled. You're done. No more games. You all can start the season back at the new year, January 1st, and we'll get in the draft season. The season was over. You don't play another game, and it's done. And tomorrow, let's just say the draft's tomorrow. What is the need? Where would you think the Chiefs would be drafted right now in their first, let's say their first 4 picks? You have 4 picks, round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. What 4 positions do you think the Chiefs would have to fill at the moment right now going into next year's team? So I'm not saying like put them on this year's team. This season's done. Going into next year, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's still obvious to me that you go defensive line. You have to go edge rusher.
So you go edge over interior. That's all I'm trying to say. Do you do both?
Well, I mean, you still got Chris Jones for a couple of years at least. I think Omar Norman Lott can be okay. He's going to come back. I think he's going to be good. I think what you need.
Great answer, Kurt. Yeah, they're just going to take a really fast wide receiver. That's the short answer to this.
If it was me, it really depends on, like, how do you feel about Ashton? How do you feel about Ashton Gelati? Like,
The
I
season
love him.
ends
And I
today.
think he's going to be good, right?
The season ends today. This is all Ashton developed into. Today, the season ends.
If Ashton is where he is right now, and you had to draft, I would do everything I could to get up and get one of the best premier pass rushers as far as edge rushers go.
I don't care if Ashton develops into a hell of a pass rusher. I still think you do that.
You have to.
You can't have too many pass rushers in this league.
Well, that's one thing that we've never been good at, and I think we have to start putting an emphasis on that. Because we've had the luxury of having Chris Jones. A lot of people don't have a defensive tackle that can get all the pass rush, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. But we've had that luxury, and we haven't had to go out and do this. But I think it's time we do it.
Well,
I mean, you already got
look, if the
you already
season
got
ends,
George locked up for a while.
gone. He would theoretically be gone.
Would it matter? Is it any different than it is right now?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So you've got to get that edge rusher. So where do you go with your other picks? A lot of people say running back in the chat. Would you take a running back in the first 4 rounds? Because I know Brett probably wouldn't.
No.
You're still refusing to go running back in top 4 picks, huh?
Mike, look, man, I said in the offseason they might want to consider Travion Henderson. They might want to consider anybody around that time. I said they might want to consider Omarion Hampton if he fell to the end of the first round, right? So I'm not opposed to that, but I think we have bigger fish to fry. I think, like, honestly, I swear to you, I feel like if Brashard Smith was given the ball 15 to 20 times a game and using the pass game, we could literally just get a third down back and be solid. Like, I'm okay with it.
Steve,
It's Andy, dude. I don't want to put too much in that. I'm not going to put too many of my eggs in that basket because that basket's full of holes, bro.
It was just a couple years ago that me and you kept saying if the Chiefs can do anything they can to go get this guy, they should do it. And everybody was kind of saying, why are you taking another first-round running back? We wanted Jahmyr Gibbs so bad.
Brother, I know. Dude, just add it to the list. Add it to the freaking list.
Well,
Brett,
we said that too.
Brett,
we said Andy would
for
take
some
him.
reason out there, anybody that knows Brett, or if Brett, if you're bored and you accidentally clicked on the stream, just a phone, just directly to your office, to this desk, right here. That way I could just tell you, bro, because I mean, every draft we got a beat on this.
Listen, it was just this year. Just this year. We were talking about how Cam Scatterbo might be a nice little pick.
Right.
He looked really good before he got his leg ripped off.
You know what it is? I'm thinking. I was thinking about this earlier today. It's like, how can 2 dudes that,
suck?
We're just 2 regular dudes. We're fans that started a YouTube channel.
100%.
We're literally football fans, just regular dudes. Now, I would say that our football knowledge is above average. I'm not saying that we're super smart, but I'm saying the average fan probably doesn't know as much as we do. Like average NFL fan, not just Chiefs fan. I'm not trying to dog you guys. But just like the average person that watches the NFL probably knows less. But we still don't know a lot.
No, I mean, if you go to the street and ask an average NFL fan,
Right,
they don't even know what a
saying.
4-3 defense means.
That's what I'm saying. So we have a little bit, but like, how can 2 slap nuts always hit on players? And let me tell you exactly what it is. Scouts and GMs and coaches overthink everything.
I think so too.
If you just go with the glaringly obvious stuff, you will hit 9 out of 10 times. Like we literally just basically the stuff we say is like, hey, this is pretty obvious. Like, it's almost like Brock Bowers is going to be a good tight end. And it's like them like, no, maybe not. Maybe he's balding a little bit. I don't think he's going to be that good. Like, they overthink everything. Like, I just think that's the thing. I think we just say obvious things.
I know we do. Steve, 9 times out of 10, when we're sitting down and we're talking about a pick that the Chiefs should take, what's some of the tie-breaking factors of us? We'll watch some of his plays and be like, that looks like a play the Chiefs run. He looks like he would move very well in our offense. This looks like a guy who actually, he runs similar to the guys on our offense. He moves like guys similar in our offense.
Hey,
We've said this before.
For example, Nick Benito. We're watching the tape. Mike looks at me and he's like, "You thinking what I'm thinking?" And this is not something to say lightly, but this guy's got probably the best bend I've seen since Derek Thomas. He reminds me of DT. Like, I'm not saying he's that good, but he's got that bend, baby. And I was like, who he reminds me of? Von Miller. And like, of course, Von Miller literally molded his game after Derek Thomas. Wore the
Yeah.
same number and everything. It's just like sometimes if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's an effing duck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that simple.
But
I just don't get it.
again, if we're scouts and we take that to the Chiefs,
He's too
they're
little.
going to look. They're going to go to Spags. Spags is going to say, he don't weigh enough. He don't set the edge. That's not what I want. And they don't do it.
Get out of here.
He said, get it out of here. My wife was going to make some chicken parm, and I've got to find the car keys. Get them out of here. And meanwhile, we're crying in the parking lot with Nick Benito. And
And then, he goes to that divisional rival and just starts destroying the league.
And they drafted Tano Passignon. Okay?
Bro. No,
on,
that
let's
was
quit.
a different draft. If that was the same draft, I would have flipped my desk and broke everything.
I'm joking. But Adrian
Yeah.
Joking German with saying that Ashton Gelati is going to be a beast. Absolutely.
Yeah, shout
He
out
was
to
in
Ashton.
Louisville last night, too,
Yeah.
man.
It's funny because a guy I know, he sent me a text and he was like, "Hey man, I'm at the Louisville game. He has season tickets to Louisville's college football games, and he's right there in the first couple of rows. He's like, "Hey, Ashton Gelati's right in front of me. You want me to ask him if he'll come on your podcast?" I was laughing. I was like, "Well, he knows the podcast. We talk to his mom pretty regularly. She likes to ask us questions and get our opinions on Ashton and stuff like that. And then Ashton obviously does Zarda. We do Zarda. And he asked him anyway, and he said, "You know what Ashton said, Mike?" He said, "I know them." He said, "I will go on there." He said, "It'll be next year, though." He's like, I'm focusing on just getting integrated this year. I'm not doing anything like that this year," which I could respect that. As a rookie, he's focusing on football.
Go figure.
Yeah, so it's just funny.
Look,
But shout
I'm
out
glad
Ashton,
he has
man.
his priorities straight. He got
Heck yeah,
himself
baby.
a sandwich, a barbecue sandwich, and he's getting football done. And that's the only two things he needs to do.
I like it, though. I dig it. Mike, we got Romastamo with the 5 bomb. Says, Mike, the running starts local analysis video was primo. The running stats, sorry.
Yeah.
The corporate analysts can suck it. Yeah. Dude, I think that's just another one of those things where it's like glaringly obvious. Like, why overthink it? Like, why did there have to be at least one slap nut in the comments? It's like, well, if you look at this, look at this, look at this.
Well, that's because you can't please everybody. And number two, I'm not going to dig in and give you guys an analysis for 45 minutes on every possible scenario. You guys are going to fall asleep and turn it off after 3
Worried
seconds.
to sleep. And then, like every bit of analysis always has its caveats, right? Like there's always some kind of factor that could change it,
Right.
but I mean, what you do is you go with like the high percentage stuff and you're like, hey, that's a trend. If it's 98%, that's a hell of a trend. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty wild.
It's wild. Yep. Appreciate you, Romastamo.
Heck yeah, man. Appreciate it. Mike, we got that train rolling in, baby.
Let's go.
Got the legend himself, Chris Wright, in the house. Put some catch-ups in the chat for our boy Chris. Let's go. 5 gifted memberships.
Cinco.
Let's freaking go. Let's see who got those. Can I see that? Let's see. Justin Blackwell, Machiavelli, or Tupac. Julia Gulia received one. Julia is here. Julia, I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been at? Where you been hiding, Julia?
Hey, she's not talked about your shirt yet.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Hey,
and then
no way.
Christian also got one too. Obviously, thank Chris in the chat. He's a freaking legend. And you all know that already, but we'll throw that out there. Romastamo with the 2 bomb says, damn the autocorrect. It gets you every time, Romastamo.
I know.
Every time.
At least it's not like calling you out, though. At least it's not like, saying something you shouldn't be saying, right?
Oh, Brian Parrott. What's up, Brian? I somehow I've managed not to see Brian's name in the chat. I thought maybe he fell asleep and he missed the entire stream, but apparently he's been in here. He's been hiding.
I woke up today. I've been sick, as you guys can tell. I know you can
You
still
sound
hear
a
it.
little bit better today.
I've got better. I've got
I
a little
like
better.
this. Good job.
I tell you, I don't know what it is. I searched it. Nobody can afford to go to doctors these days, so you use AI, and so you just throw your stuff.
Just
in.
talk to ChatGPT. They're going to be smarter than the doctor.
Yeah, I was like, look, ChatGPT, I've got this, and this. And they were like, well, let me tell you right now, where do you live? And I was like, Kentucky. And they were like, you've got 8 major illnesses floating around. And I was like, I just wrote back and said, how are we alive? Okay. And
8?
so there's 7 different viruses going around right now.
Neurovirus.
Yeah, there's adenovirus, whatever the hell that is. Sounds like a dinosaur. There's 15 different stomach bugs. There's a new branch of COVID coming out. Like
Every
they
year,
manufacture
baby.
one of those every other week and put on us. Look,
Like, what can
that
we
got
add?
us
What can we sprinkle in there to make it a little bit better?
Hey, that got us demonetized. Shouldn't have said it. Look, here's the thing. I don't know what I got, but here's what I did. I said, look, doesn't matter what it is. I'm just going to do the old-fashioned, like an Amish approach. So I've just been eating a little honey for the throat.
Oh, yeah.
I've been drinking vitamin C. I've just been doing an herbal approach. 3 days go by. I feel a little better today. Now it's just getting all this head cold cleared up, which is tough for me.
You got to eat that local honey.
Yeah, I bought some from a fella up the road the other day.
The Amish is where
really
it's
good,
at, brother.
actually.
You find them Amish guys making the honey. And
You know,
that's
I
where
went to
it's at.
Aldi. You guys ever familiar with Aldi? Is that a thing in Missouri?
I'm sure it
Aldi?
is. It's like the
They're
German.
from Germany.
Yeah. I almost said restaurant. It's a German grocery store that's great, actually.
Steve, they've got some Manuka honey. You ever heard of that?
Nope.
Straight out of New Zealand. It's got like great properties to it, but they
Hey,
actually
see
sell
you,
it
Terry.
for
Have a good night.
$9, man. So
Do
I
what?
grabbed some of that and been eating it.
You got some Manuka honey?
Some Manuka honey. Don't know what it's doing for me, but makes me feel a little better.
That's ridiculous. All right, man. Well, I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better because we got a lot of work to do this week. You know? It never stops.
Yeah.
Always putting in the work. Appreciate you, Chris, helping grow the crew. Speaking of, guys, if you have not subscribed to the channel, go do it. We're putting a lot of work in. We're trying to grow this bad boy.
Jacob. Pit. Jacob's going to the pit. No, I'm joking. Don't put him in the pit.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
Mike, toughen up.
Man, I need to go back to KC soon. I was thinking about going back and watching the Colts game. Should we go? Should we go watch the Colts? Get together with our people and have some Zarda?
Yep. I don't know why I want to read this like in like a Renaissance type voice. Like, wife made some homemade elderberry.
Elderberry.
Cleared us up.
Dude, I've heard that the Amish really love elderberry. I actually
heard
found
a
like
lot
a
about
little
that, too.
drink with elderberry in it. They make cough drops with elderberry in it now.
Do they? Hey,
You know, yeah.
Mike, let's talk about those Luden cough drops when we were in elementary school.
Hey,
They
I've been
weren't
sucking on
medicine
those like
whatsoever.
crazy.
Dude, those are candy.
It's
We
straight
would eat-
candy.
Those were candy. We would get our parents to get those even when we weren't sick. Because
Yeah.
if you had the Luden cough drops at school, you had the stash, baby. That was candy. It tasted so good. They didn't do a damn thing. It didn't help you with anything. I don't even know why they promoted it as a cough drop because it was literally candy.
No, it's straight candy. I got some. Did you know they make a Luden's cough drop watermelon flavor?
I bet that's amazing, isn't it?
Why have we never seen it on the shelves?
Why were they holding that out in elementary school when those cherry ones were kicking ass? though?
Apparently, you can go to Amazon and order them for like $10 a bag. And I was like, well, you don't even need to be sick to have a Luden, so I might go do
Dicker
that. Huh?
the kicker missed. That's a rarity.
Oh my God, should we fire him like we wanted to get rid of Butker?
You know what's funny? I'm glad that you just brought that back up because I never got to give you my other point. And it just
Go
now
for it.
clicked. I think that other conversation Andy Reid needs to have is with special teams with Dave Tobe.
Okay.
Like, hey guys, look, you kind of cost us a few games. You could be doing a lot better. Let's tighten it up on the back half of the season because the last thing we want special teams to be is a detriment. Like if you're just neutral, if you're Sweden, we're okay, but just don't screw anything up.
I hear you.
Yeah. What do you got there, man?
I don't know, I just found it, but I'm putting it on my
That's
mic. It looks cool.
what is that thing called? It's from
Kissy Missy.
No, it's the wrong color.
Why does he not stick, though? He's got cup hands.
What even is that from? I forgot the name of the thing.
Oh, wait, he's holding on. Oh, God, he fell. I like him. I
control.
kind of want him to sit there, though. He's cool looking.
Flapjack said elderberry is strong for the dong, baby.
Maybe I got to lick him.
All right, guys, this is getting off the rails. We're gonna have to get off here. Let's watch the end of this game. Man, what's going on here? Is it still 12-3? That can't be right. It's been 12-3 for 4 hours. Oh, it's 15-3. Sorry. Did he not miss it? Did he actually hit the doink, or did he miss?
No. Somebody said, did they say the dicker doink?
What's going on, brother?
15-3. What the hell are we watching over there? Is it like an MLS game?
Witchy, you're exactly right, but that's okay.
Did you say Sweden was neutral?
I did.
I knew a kid from Sweden. Remember Anton?
Anton.
Dude,
buddy.
we knew a kid from Sweden named Anton. How the most Swedish name you've ever heard in your life. His name was Anton. His name was
Was
Anton.
he fake? Was he a real person?
Anton Pettersson. And I don't know if he pronounced it Peterson or it was Pettersson. But yeah, he had the thing. He was like, he wanted to go to Qdoba. And he said, yeah. He said, Mike, I go to Qdoba. He said, what should I order? And I said, get the chicken, buddy. Get the chicken nachos.
Why was he like Russian or something?
That's kind of how they talk, but he's behind me, and I'm like, I'll order. You just do what I do. So I get it, and I go through, and he says, I'll take the chicken. And the lady's like, pork? And she starts putting pork on his bowl, and I was like, and he was like, yes.
I'm confused.
He got pork, not chicken. And I was saying, and I didn't even want to step up. I just wanted to let him experience the badness of pork nachos instead of chicken. And so we get to the table.
Pork nachos are great, brother.
Yeah, but he was expecting it to be chicken. And so the point is, he said, this chicken tastes horrible.
All that for that, bro.
And I let him have it because I'm mean to the Swedish. I don't know.
It's the little things in life for you, isn't
He
it?
tried to burn my house down by cooking a pizza on a stove.
He put it on the burner.
He didn't know what the oven was.
He put it on the burner.
He put a frozen pizza on the stove, and I left and come back, and the house was on fire almost.
You can't tell me Swedish people don't know how to cook a frozen pizza.
This Swedish dude was an idiot. I love him. Anton, wherever you are right now.
Check this out. What she said had a Swedish foreign exchange student named Magnus our senior year.
Nice.
That's
They
a
all
pretty
have cool
Swedish name,
names.
too. Yeah, Jacob. That was satisfying for everybody. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. We're just talking nonsense anyway. Appreciate y'all being here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go do that. The Best Chiefs channel. All the good analysis, all the fun, dumb stories that have nothing to do with football, all the good stuff, baby. Go hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you guys with the super chats and Chris helping grow the crew. You guys are freaking amazing. We're going to have a video for you probably tomorrow. Is that right? Tomorrow's Monday, right?
We're going to do another live. We'll do a live Q&A tomorrow.
Oh, we have a live Q&A tomorrow. Okay, so there will be a post up. So you guys can kind of vent out whatever your questions are and everything going forward. We'll have a live Q&A tomorrow. So get with it, baby. Be on the lookout. If Facebook doesn't, not Facebook, YouTube doesn't send you a notification.
Just know it's going to be there.
Yeah, just be looking. That's all I can say, I guess.
Get those monocs on.
Y'all have a good night. Go Chiefs.
Wow.